Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Development Institute, or NACD, in Minneapolis.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. And we are here with Ruth Anna Buffalo and her crew from Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. And Ruth Ann, this is just, I can feel their heart through these airwaves, and I really appreciate you bringing these guys on. Let's talk some more about what they do, Ruth Anna.
Yeah, so in the drop-in center, like Deetra mentioned, they're one of the first points of contact for a lot of our relatives who come in who are unsheltered or unhoused, and so the work that they do is so critically important because it helps. They help, relatives feel safe and welcomed, and they get our client relatives connected to resources. Like Ellison mentioned, we have today's Tuesday, so we had our weekly Resource Connect from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. where breakfast and lunch is provided, and we have service providers on site, Hennepin County Streets to Housing, MinOB, Behavioral Health, targeted case managers, and Avivo Village was there today. And so, yeah, and then also LEAD was on site, Sobriety Warriors. So yeah, it's a community effort, and we're, providing a space for people to come together and help the relatives get connected to resources. So yeah, we're just trying to do the best we can within our reach, because we all have a responsibility to help our relatives live, and live longer.
That's awesome. And Deetra, I was there for the 40th anniversary open house, and I saw you there, and it was amazing how many community people showed up for that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, I was in awe too, and it's also amazing to make those connections. It's like the community coming together like that, and connecting with each of the organizations is so important. There are times when I may not have a resource and I could just pick up the phone and call, or now some of them, they come here now, and make those connections so that they don't have to wait, or they're being shoveled around to this place, to that place. Some of our client relatives don't have communication, like cell phones and computers. So, being able to make those connections like that is so amazing. And it's like right there, so they don't have to go very far. And that helps us out too. And we're not playing phone tag or email tag. And then we, it kind of gets tiring to them, and then they lose hope. And that's the one thing that we don't want to happen, is for our client relatives to lose hope, because we're fighting the fight with them, So yeah, those resources and connections are very key to potential success in helping our client relatives get to that next stage in their life. So. Yeah.
Absolutely. Allison, you've been around for a year. You've gone through the bad part of the winter, and our unsheltered relatives showing up, and that must really be hard to see, but also really good on the heart that you're able to help.
Yeah, definitely. And so I was like I don't know if I should mention this, or if it's like, but like I have like a lot of experience with like our unsheltered, let alone with them like going through their struggle they're going through, because I'm also in recovery too. July 18th will be my 2 years being in recovery. So like, it's easier for like, so like a lot of people outside of our work, like a lot of them don't understand, so like for them to come to MIWRC and feel safe here, because like and with me being here in our drop-in, our all of our coworkers, we, like Ruth was saying, we have an amazing team going here, and and I'm grateful to be a part of that team, to be able to help like guide and support like our unsheltered to want better and to do better, you know. So like it's been a good experience being here at MIWRC. I've been here going on 3 months now, so I'm still a newbie. But it has been like it has been a good experience for me being here, and I'm grateful that Ruth like was able to like open those doors for me, and to be able to work with like our unsheltered, or even anyone coming through our doors in general, and just being able to like make them feel welcomed here, make them feel safe, make them feel like as if they were at home, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I what I want to say is I have 40 years of recovery, and I
Right
think
on.
2 years is a lot longer than I think 2 years is a lot longer than 40 years, because those days can be long, and you're a great representation, and also people can look up to you because you're doing it, and that's what our community needs, is to see more warriors like you, Allison, that are doing it on the daily deal.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And so like in a lot of our client relatives that do come in, you know, like I was saying, like I know a lot of them only because like I was in active use at one point. So like a lot of them and because our community, like when our community comes together, they come together, and when that does happen, it's such a beautiful thing to see, you know. And a lot of them come in and they'll be like, you know, I'm gonna get there one day, and I'm like, yeah, you will, you know, you definitely will, and just keep speaking that into existence or manifesting it, you know, because like a lot of our relatives who are struggling right now, a lot of them want it so bad. It's just that step that they have to take, you know, because it's a hard step to take, and I don't blame them, because I was at that point at one time, you know.
Exactly.
And they'll get there, you know. All we can do is keep being supportive and being a good having our doors open like we've been, you know.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations again. That's a huge deal, and 2 years is a long time. It's a lot longer, again, like I said, than 40 years. It's Ruth Anna, it's great to have these guys on and talk real talk.
Yes, for sure. I'm super thankful. You know, it's an amazing team, and we kind of joke and say, you know, they're a bunch of Care Bears, you know. But yeah, they have superpowers. So, you know, their heart, you know, heart work. You know, some days are challenging, and you know, with things that kind of tug at the heartstrings, you know. But we support one another, and we're thankful to have a good support system, and you know, our traditional values that have withstood the test of time are there for us as well. And you know, we were I was just talking to my family about the parade, and it was fun to like be out there and dancing with the relatives and things, you know. So yeah, it was, you know, it's just good time, good medicine for sure.
Well, your name will always be on the trophy because you guys won it the first time, Ruth Anna.
Yeah. Bragging rights, I guess.
So Lisa and I are going to try and get a float next year, a Native Roots Radio float, and we're thinking about maybe having a big boombox on her car.
Yeah, for sure. There was some
with
really
an eagle feather hanging from it. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool. Well, Ruth Anna, I'd like to, I don't know if you want to keep these guys on, because really what I'd like to talk about now too is the services that you have and the things that are coming up this week. So this is your call if you want to ask them a few more questions, or if you want to get right into that, how people out there can support Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center and the great work that obviously Allison and Deetra and you and the whole crew do.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. You know, like our website is on the link down there, the banner. So yeah, miwrc.org has a lot of our good information, connects you to the socials. So yeah, if Deetra and Allison would like to stay on for another segment, for sure, I support that.
Right on. That's very cool. So what would you say to somebody that Deetra, that just came in and really feels down about stuff, and how do you greet them, and how do you tell them that it's going to be okay?
Definitely with empathy, and compassion. Compassion for sure. Being a good listener, paying attention to them. They go through so much out in the streets, just having that genuine compassion goes a long way. And it works for me. I actually sit down with them and I listen, and I don't care how horrible the story may be, I'm still just like right there and letting them know that whatever I can do in my power, that I will do it, and standing on that. I don't care if they come one day and I don't see them for a month. I remember, what they talked about, what they were dealing with, and even if we have to jump right back in, and just try to help them to the best of my ability. But like I said in the first part, is building those strong relationships are super important, because they learn to trust you and they're depending on you. And sometimes, yes, it tears at our hearts. Like, there's stories I've heard that I've had to run to the bathroom and maybe shed a tear, but letting them know that I'm there, and the rest of my colleagues as well. I will say this: we do have a very amazing team. Everybody is so compassionate, and they care about every single client relatives that walks through that door, and that matters. And the community knows this. As Allison was saying, they know where to come when they need that, or to feel safe and to feel cared for. So yeah, I would just say being there, listening, being a good listener, no judgment. They go through enough of that, and trying our best to help them as much as we can, and never giving up. Because I like I said, I may see one client relative on a Monday and I may not see them for 3 months. But when they walk back through that door, I remember them and I remember what they were going through. And we just pick right back up, and we fight the fight. So
Right on, right on. Appreciate those good words. Allison, I wanted to ask you kind of a different question with we got a minute left here. What do you do to take care of yourself? Because this is hard emotionally when you see people down.
Yeah, good question.
It's crazy you bring that up, because we were just actually talking about this in one of the offices yesterday. So like I've been like more connected on my cultural side. So like before I leave the house, I smudge. I put cedar in my shoes, and like even if we're having a bad day at work, I'll go home and take a cedar bath. I make sure I use my medicines, because it helps a lot.
Yeah,
and I go get my nails done, get my hair did.
There you go. Yeah. Well, you have to give it away to keep it. And I know I still go to those 12-step meetings, because we have to talk strong to our relatives and be there. And I remember my first meeting 40 years ago, somebody told me that I was the most important person there. And you know what? I believed them, and I kept coming back. Hey, we're here with Ruth Anna Buffalo and her crew, Allison and Deetra, and of course, Jaleesa McKee, my daughter. Nepotism's living live and well here on Native Roots Radio. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break and come back and talk some more.
Stay with us.
Ho!
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Minnesota needs diverse teachers who represent our students and communities. Explore teaching degree options at Metro State University's Urban Education Info Session in person at the Minneapolis campus on June 24th. Metro State's programs offer pathways to bachelor's degrees designed for those committed to serving urban communities. Visit campus, get an overview of teaching programs, and meet with an advisor. Sign up at metrostate.edu/urban teacher program. Become a teacher, shape the future. Metro State University.
Your heart beats for generations.
Your heart is so many things. It beats all the time, and it works very hard to keep you moving through your day, keeping your thoughts clear. It's the most important organ in your body.
Every beat of your heart tells a story of love, resilience, and hope. Taking care of your heart means creating more moments with the ones you cherish. Learn more at hennepin.us/heart-beats. That's hennepin.us/heart-beats.
Support for Native Roots Radio comes from the Walker Art Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including Indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of Birds, Cheyenne and Arapaho Nation, and Jim Demini, Ojibwe. Additionally, films screen in the cinema, and performances are shown on stage. Free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org. Again, that's walkerart.org.
Hi, this is Governor Walz. Thank you for listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
In this portion of the show, we'd like to bring awareness to our Minnesota wolf population. Say no to the hunts.
Oh. Allison and Deetra, that's where you were supposed to howl. Welcome back. Hey, we're here talking Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center with our guest Ruth Anna Buffalo, and Allison and Deetra, and of course Jaleesa McKee's here helping me hold down the fort. Wow, hold down the fort. That's not a good thing to say. That's kind of holding down the. Yes, we're doing good here. Thanks, Ruth Anna. How's it going? This has really been a great show. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I feel so much heart from you and also the people that work at Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center.
Yeah, for sure. We're, thankful to be here and to, for you allowing us to share a few good words about MIWRC and get the word out into the community. And also want to encourage, people, if they can, to donate, miwrc.org/donate. We've been around for 40 years and we will be around for 40 more plus years and beyond, still serving the relatives. And we're just, it's a beautiful organization to be a part of, a lot of healing, a lot of trust building, with relationships and really helping get relatives connected to resources like treatment, addiction services, housing, also behavioral health or mental health services as well, and just trying to expand on those, but of course incorporating or integrating our traditional values and teachings into those as well.
Ruth Anna, I know you talked about the round dance and the workers coming down and round dancing during the celebration there, but tell some of our listeners that are just tuning in a little bit about what construction is going on.
Oh, yes. So the top two floors at MIWRC, floors 3 and 4, are under renovation and they're coming along really well. We have, so we're moving from 14 2 to 3 bedroom units to 24 efficiencies, with 4 of them being single units. And we are on schedule, on target to have 6 units occupied by the end of this August. And so, things are moving along. We actually just kind of got a quick tour of 3rd floor today. And so things are going along great, and we're looking forward to serving the relatives, the best we can. Top 2 floors, floors 3 and 4, will be fully renovated. New windows, large, big windows, lots of natural light, fresh paint on there right now. Door frames are being added in. Furniture is going to arrive next week. So things are moving along really good.
Allison, how does that make you feel when you see something like that added on for the community? Isn't that like a game changer?
It definitely is, and I was just talking to a couple of like our staff about like how many more opportunities that our relatives can feel safe at, you know. So it's like it's definitely a blessing. Like our community needs it, just because like with like everything going on and the things just clashing back and forth at each other in the community, you know, like, you know, and like we were saying earlier, like a lot of our client relatives come here and they feel safe here. That's why they keep coming back. So it's definitely a beautiful blessing to have, like, to be here to experience and see the progress of it.
Yeah, it is, and I appreciate it and was able to see that firsthand. And it's an older building, and to have that life Ruth Anna put back into it, that's a really good thing, and that's how it can last for another 40 years.
Yes, for sure. Look forward to hearing, singing, dancing, just, yeah, looking forward to just more good, wholesome gatherings, where there's meals, there's healing, there's kids, there's laughter, there's community, there's elders, there's teachings. So yeah, it's a lot of beautiful things coming.
And you know what I say? And there's cakewalk too. I love it.
Oh, we all over at all of us at MIWRC, we clown about, or like we joke about this all the time. Like we all love big back activities over here.
Yeah.
Big back.
I had to Google that at first. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
Not
your
all
next
of
teacher.
Allison's favorite word, big bag.
It's just another term for we all love different types of food and we can throw it on when it comes to food.
Yeah, there you go.
That was funny. Oh my goodness. But I just wanted to say too, my background, I'm actually a counselor at a treatment center. And so I just wanted to give you all the props for connecting people to treatment centers. So thank you. I actually, and even further, I actually started a Well Variety group, a specifically Native-centric group at my job. So anyway,
Awesome.
so I'm feeling connected to y'all when you share what you're doing. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's huge.
I attend a Well Variety meeting every week. It's every Thursday at the White Earth Mansion, and I make it a priority to make it to a meeting just because I'm in recovery and I just don't want to lose like those connections I already have there. I mean, I've attended all other meetings all around the community, but like that Well Variety meeting, just I felt like really at home there, and I feel like it's because like more like connected with like our culture and everything in it, and it's also like a home feeling when you walk in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah,
sharing that.
And that's definitely part of what I asked you earlier, is how you take care of yourself, because you have to go to those to feel community and also give it away to the newcomer, because again, they're the most important person there.
Definitely. So my 2 years coming up, I'm actually like sharing my story at that Well Variety meeting, like at the end of July. I'm gonna be sharing my story there.
That's so important too,
Great.
because I know for me, I have amnesia, when it comes to like borrowing money or drinking and doing drugs. So I got to like remember all these things and keep going to these meetings. Oh, wow. So, Deetra, you see people come in, but you also see people go out in a good way and get the help. That's got to be part of what fills your soul too.
Yeah, it does. When our client relatives either go to treatment or find housing, it's a feeling I can't even describe. To watch the growth, I can't even describe the feeling. I think I'm more excited than they are. I'm just jumping up at the door like, yes, you got housing. Yes, you finally decided, I'm tired, help me. How help me, how do I get to treatment? Which treatment? And sitting
Mm-hmm.
down with them and going over the different options, and when they take that step and you look in their eyes and you see the tears, but they're tears of joy.
Yeah.
It's very emotional. It feels like it's me that's going, or it's me that's getting my apartment. Oh man, I can't even. I'm about to cry right now. It's a wonderful feeling to see, and I let them know that we're here. We're rooting for them, whatever they need. They can call, they can come back, and we'll guide them. And yeah, we have several success stories, and they come back. Oh,
That's awesome. Hey, I want to tell you, we got less than a minute. Ruth Ann of Buffalo, thank you so much for bringing these guys on to your show every Tuesday. This has just been a really good lift for us and filling our soul bucket after what's happened this weekend, Ruth Ann. So thank you so much for bringing these guys on.
Mods and dads, thank you.
I think we're done.
the door shut down.